Welcome to Coffee with Cannon. Backyard beverage, bitchin' with Bill. I've heard other titles of this show. How's everyone doing today? 2 people in the chat. I had 4, and then I said I better get on here. They're all escaping. They're all leaving. Where are they going? Where's all my overseas people? They're not here yet. Where's the Irish? Where's the English? Where's the Australians? Where's the South Africans? I'm not seeing anybody. I'm not seeing any names coming up in the chat yet. Where are all you guys? 2 in the chat, 3 with the thumbs up. 3 and 3. Todd Monty, good morning from Arizona. Mary Williamson, I'm here. Mary, good morning, Bill. Good to see all you guys. Slowly getting into the chat with Backyard Beverage, Coffee with Cannon, Bitching with Bill, Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. We think we have too many names. Arizona is here. Mary, here we are. Love always. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Bill and everyone. HX Fix, hi from Colorado, from a former upstate New Yorker. Wow. MZ Liz, hey, hi from Ireland. I hope you are keeping well. Yes, very well. Doing well, guys. Good Monday morning. I forget it's Monday. Wow, that weekend went fast, right? Rochella is in the chat. We're having lunch with Cannon. Good morning. Misdemeanor, hey, Bill from Wales. Wow. Good morning. It's 9:25 here in Southern California. Well, East Coast girls are hip. I really dig those styles they wear. Southern California. San Diego, beautiful. Mission Beach, beautiful. La Jolla, beautiful. But the only bad thing about California is it's so damn expensive. It's ridiculous, right? Hi from Dorset, UK. Good to see you, Dorset, UK. Cool. How's the weather in the UK? I know you guys had one hell of a heat spell. Milwaukee Civilian, hi, Bill. Holter, former POTC fans. We are fans, not merely subscribers. That's great. Little Mermaid 85, all beautiful places. Kim Allison, hi, Sergeant Mill Mods, and everyone in the chat. Hi, Kim. Thank you for sending me that video of Duty Ron's mother-in-law. I watched it this morning from my email. Sundown Farms, good morning, Bill from Kansas. Diane Krause, hi, Bill. How you doing, Diane? Good to see everyone. Hey, have an accent question. What area in the city says draw instead of drawer? Draw instead of drawer. I don't know. I don't know. See, huge Bill Cannon fan. Well, thank you so much. That's very, very nice of you. When I went to college in Buffalo, and this is all my accent story. I was taking a class in English literature, and I started to talk in front of the class. I forget, I was asking a question or something, and the teacher, I remember his name was DC, D-E-A-C-Y, Mr. DC, Dr. DC. And he stopped me from talking. He goes, where are you from? And I said, I'm from New York. And he goes, no. He goes, your accent's not New York. It's different. And I go, well, I'm from Long Island. He goes, that's it. He goes, that's a Long Island accent. So he differentiated the accents, New York and Long Island, that they're different, and they are different. You know, Long Island has a different inflection on some words. But isn't that amazing that I'm sure in Ireland there's different parts of Ireland that have different accents than, you know, you have Dublin and Derry and Clonakilty, Kinsale, Ballymena, all the Northern Ireland stuff. I'm sure people speak differently, right? Just their inflection in words, the way they say things, the way they do things, different, right? Different. I'm a suburb guy, you know. Hi from Lauderdale, still have my Long Island accent. Been here, Florida, since '86. Mark Prince, I'm gonna spend the winter from November 1st until May 1st in Jupiter, Florida. So this show will be live from Jupiter, Florida as of November 1st. So I'm so looking forward to it. I want to see what it's like. I spoke to a lot of you guys in the chat. I want to see what it's like to live in Florida, you know, because I would like to one day, at least half the time, live there and then maybe spend the summers here. My wife's a dyed-in-the-wool New Yorker. She was born and raised in Manhattan, and she grew up on the Upper West Side, and so she's like reluctant to leave this area. She'd go for the 6-month thing, and then 6 months here, and she also doesn't really want to leave her job yet. She really likes her job, and she's sort of I don't know, she's sort of attached to her job, let me put it that way, and she's not ready to leave. So I'm going to go there for 6 months, and she can join me whenever she can spend some time in Jupiter, Florida. So cool, I'm so looking forward to it. Just a change too, So did anyone watch myself and Phil last night? We were on at, what time did we go on? We went on at 5 o'clock. Tony Monty, my sister and brother-in-law, winter in Scottsdale, Arizona, and summer in Illinois. Hey, if you can do it, the big thing is you have to have the resources to carry 2 places, and that's a tough thing to do, Definitely we can't keep carrying this house if I'm going to live in Florida. Mary Williamson, I think Burt Reynolds used to live in Jupiter. Yeah, I heard he did. You know who else lives there? Michael Jordan. I think Tiger Woods lives there. I'm not sure if the Williams sisters live there or not, but it's part of it is super affluent, and there's sure there's sort of a Pauline Buckles at Debbie Podgorski. Hello. So there's look, I just want to live in a nice place, that you can do nice things and nice restaurants and nice people, and that's what I want to do. Eddie T, I've been in Florida in 1988, still talk like Long Island, Suffolk, Yaphank. It's hard to get rid of that accent, right? Especially if you don't try. I'm going down to West Palm, which is near Jupiter, tomorrow. Wow, Milwaukee Civilian. It's about 35 minutes, I think, from Jupiter, West Palm. Because one of my wife's best friends lives in West Palm, and she was telling her that we're going to be in Jupiter, and she was all excited that our friend's close by. So did anyone watch us last night with the Kylie Rodney missing person case from Truckee, California? It's near Lake Tahoe, and this girl has been missing, 16 years old, been missing for over a week, and they really don't have any solid leads to go on, and it's sort of sad because, cases like this. Kathy Bates, hello. HS Fix, my daughter has moved into Florida this weekend. Guys, the chat's moving too fast. So get back to the missing girl, Kylie Rodney. Today's the 8th day, and not only is she missing, but she had a 2013 silver Honda CRV, and that's gone also, and not recovered. So that gives me pause and makes me pretty nervous about what may have happened, and I'm sort of leaning towards, not that I need to guess or need to show off with my expertise or whatever, but I'm leaning to the fact that there was possibly a vehicle accident where she is either down in some ravine and they can't see the car from the sky, or into the lake, and they haven't been able to find her, because also haven't been able to find her, because also her cell phone stopped pinging on that Saturday night 8 days ago at like 12:30 a.m. So that's concerning also. And they had yesterday, and they had like 230, 240 people searching for Kylie Rodney, and it's heartbreaking. And right now, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to cut back on the search and just keep the investigators out there. But right now, it's really not looking good. 8 days since she was reported missing. Diane Krause, yes, it was a good show. I think we worked pretty hard on it. Yeah, I think we tried to give good information in regards to what you'd be doing in a major investigation like that and how difficult it is. Jeffrey Crowley, hi Bill, and all the chat. 66 people in the chat, 37 thumbs up. So glad to be here. You know, sometimes I'm hanging out and I say, do I need to do a coffee with Cannon today? Do I need to do a backyard beverage? Do I need to do a bitchin' with Bill? and here I am. So one of these days I'll take a day off, but not today. I guess, yesterday was a great show. I thought, backyard bitching or whatever, coffee with Cannon. We had I think we had 855 people who watched it so far. And it probably will go over 1,000 today. It's pretty good for a little backyard talking to you guys, right? Sandra Foxell, hi Bill, have you heard anything about the shooting at a theme park? I saw something about that. I didn't really read into it. When I go through the news, the national news, and I usually go through the national news on YouTube. First I peruse the New York Times and I see what national stories there are. And when a lot of the New York Times stories are heavy duty political. So then I go into YouTube and I see what they're covering on YouTube. But I did see something about that, but I didn't really read into it. PJ, aka Rodhound, hi everyone. Hi PJ. Patrick Glanville, are you in Chicago? I'm moving part-time to Northbrook in the fall. Wow. This is almost like a bulletin board at college. You guys tell each other what you're going to be doing. That's great. The following, hello Bill, it's hard to catch you. It's 2:35 a.m. in Australia. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty. The other night, and you guys have been following my my travels and travails and all of this stuff. Saturday night, I had my first glass of wine in 2 months, and I had 2 of them. Felt pretty good, I didn't had any wine in 2 months. And PJ, aka Rodhound, hey, lucky you're alive, fell on my lunch break. I guess I am lucky you're here. 77 people in the chat, 46 thumbs up. Folks, if you're watching this right now and you're not subscribed to Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories, very simple. Go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell. Ring my bell, ring my bell. And that's all you have to do. And if you want to support us, we have a Patreon with 3 different levels. And if you want to join our YouTube family, and you see the folks in the green font, you can join our YouTube family, and we have 5, count them, 5 different levels. Nola Mom, support Sergeant Bill. Thank you so much. Tonight, I'm doing a show at 5 p.m. tonight because I don't know, and I covered it very extensively when it was big in the news, and it's the Alec Baldwin shooting on the set of Rust, and Helena Hutchins, the beautiful cinematographer who lost her life to I'm afraid, real negligence, real negligence. And the FBI just came out yesterday and said that undoubtedly, there's no room for error here. Alec Baldwin pulled the trigger, which we told you guys probably 6 months, 8 months ago when we had NYPD crime scene sergeant expert John Palucci tell you that the only way that gun went off is he pulled the trigger, minus there being a malfunction. So the FBI tested the gun, there's no malfunction, the gun is operable, and there is no doubt that Alec Baldwin pulled that trigger. So now, what is the question now? The question now is, will they prosecute? Is it going to be criminally negligent homicide? And how many people are going to be charged? Patrick Glanville, yes, it was an accident. I don't believe Alec Baldwin did it on purpose. I believe it was an accident, but there is culpability and liability, and he has to accept responsibility because he pulled the damn trigger, and he denied, probably still denies to this day that he pulled it. Oh, no, I didn't pull the trigger. Oh, no, I didn't pull the trigger. Yeah, you did, Alec. You did pull the trigger, and the FBI just put their stamp on it saying that you, in fact, did pull the trigger. So tonight at 5 p.m., we're going to dig not super deep. We're going to go back into that story. And I have John Palucci coming back on, the NYPD crime scene sergeant expert at ballistics and all things forensic and crime scene. And he's going to give his take, or his retake, because he already told how he felt many, many months ago. And of course, with me will be straight out of Brooklyn, retired NYPD detective Phil Grimaldi. Yep. Milwaukee civilian, Baldwin will do no time. Well, Look, I don't think anyone's going to, even if, say, Alec Baldwin gets arrested for criminally negligent homicide, I don't think he's going to go to jail. I think they just want to show that there's criminal liability and that someone is being held responsible. Where he will take a big hit is he's going to take a big hit in, someone's talking about the Dylan Rounds case, and I'm just in between two things right now. If you guys want to get back to that after I get through with this thought on the Alec Baldwin case, where he will get hurt big time is the civil case. He's going to get sued, and he's going to part with a lot of his own money in regards to his negligence on this case. And other people too. The movie company that was in charge of Rust, they're liable. The girl who was the armorer, she's liable. Anyone that put live rounds on the set of that movie, if they can establish culpability in that, they're liable. So there's lots of liability here, and that's all we're trying to say. But it's interesting that it took this long for the FBI to say that, yes, he pulled the trigger. Why did it take so long? And of course, the jurisdiction, the Santa Fe District Attorney's Office, no one was going to bring up any charges until this decision came through about did someone pull the trigger? And yes, someone did. It was Alec Baldwin. Now they're free to go forward and either issue charges, criminally negligent homicide, manslaughter, whatever they decide to do. Pulling buckles because the FBI was busy raiding Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, I mean, they're taking a big hit for that, right? I haven't been really watching the news on both sides of that story because it's so partisan, the news. Like, if you listen to Fox, Trump was, Trump was done dirty by the FBI. If you listen to CNN, that Trump is an enemy of the state, he's a criminal, he's wanted for espionage. So where is the truth? The truth lies somewhere in between, and I don't know who's going to give us the truth in that case. So, misdemeanor, it's a crazy case. Jolene, that's Jolene from the Dolly Parton song. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Right? Moonlight View, profound. It took so long because a celebrity is involved. Yeah, Michelle, potentially they're taking their time because they want to get it right. There's a lot of powerful people involved. There's a lot of money involved. I feel so sorry for the family of Helena Hutchins because the husband, I don't have his name at the tip of my tongue, and his 9-year-old son, the husband's without his wife and the son is without his mom. And all this other stuff to them is bullshit. They'd rather have their mom back, But that's why there are laws, and that's why there are things that are supposed to protect people from, negligence. This is negligence. How can you say it's not? How can you say, oh yes, it's not negligence? Hunter Angler, that was a terrible Jolene. I agree. I don't really know that tune, like the whole melody, but you're right, I agree, it was horrible. PJAK Rodney, I bet Alec had Dr. following him, and it was an issue to get to talk to him, his lawyer, again. I don't know what you mean by that. Moonlight View, gross negligence. Sergeant George Ishag. Hello, Sergeant Bill. How are you, Sergeant George? The real question is who put the real ammo in the gun. That's a real question too, but I think the real question was who pulled the trigger, and that's a big issue. Now we know, and now we go towards who could have put the live ammo in the gun. Andy the Gabby Cabby. Hey, Bill, the picture with his finger on the trigger tells me everything I need to know. Andy, you're a smart man. I agree with you. That tells it all, right? To say, oh yes, I took my finger off the trigger when I pulled it, Do FBI go in as SSA and do not announce as FBI? It was announced yesterday that the FBI ruled that he did pull the trigger. I mean, was it a surprise to anyone? No, I don't think so. But when, the premier law enforcement organization in the United States states that Alec Baldwin pulled the trigger, it must be taken seriously. These NYPD guys aren't up to snuff of these FBI guys with their starched suits and their haircuts that they pay in excess of $50 for. So we believe the FBI. I don't know who I was imitating there, but just someone, that for some reason. There was a thing on LinkedIn, and there's a reporter, a local reporter, a TV news reporter from NBC in the New York area. His name is Jonathan Dienst. And he wrote something. Hello, Shalane Thomason, how are you? He wrote something on LinkedIn about the fact that it's such big news that the FBI is being threatened because of their role in the Mar-a-Lago warrant and this, that, and the other. And I wrote back a scathing thing like, are you kidding me? Every day of the week, and in this year, in the last few years, more cops, more uniformed law enforcement officers have been killed in the line of duty than ever in the history of the United States. And all of a sudden, because the FBI is being threatened, you news reporters are concerned about it? It's so pathetic, and I lit him up. I lit him up on LinkedIn. And then yesterday, a cop making an arrest in Brooklyn in the subway was slashed across the face during the arrest. I was like, Jonathan, are you going to report on that? Well, because he's not FBI, you're not going to report it. It's pathetic. And then I went into how, the left sympathized and took the side of Black Lives Matter and Antifa during the riots, and they were behind to fund the police. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The left does not defend the police in this country. They went against them. So stop. And I said, and the press is complicit in this. They also went against the police, and you still go against the police. So I want to hear your report about how the FBI is under attack. Please stop it. Meanwhile, I don't have the number. I wish I had the number to say, list, this is how many cops across the country were killed in the line of duty last year. And it was a lot of them. It was a ton of them. And then these news people, they're going to decide what we hear, what the rhetoric is, what they're going to report, because they only agree with certain stuff that is in their hemisphere of being left wing, And then how about, don't get me started. So you guys, it got me to ranting with Bill. Yes, you can absolutely disagree with how Fox, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, public television, PBS, MSNBC, any of these people report the news, because they all have an agenda. They're not reporting the news. They're reporting the news as it is pertaining to them and their political beliefs. That's somewhat sad, right? And did the press always do that? I think the press was always left-leaning. Squirrel sandwich, they want to chant about defunding the police until it actually happens, and then they see how horrendous it is not to have the police. And BB2, we love Bill ranting. You're speaking the truth. Well, thank you. I'm a ranter. I'm a ranter. I'm thinking of that tune by Steve Miller. I'm a joker. I'm a smoker. I'm a midnight toker. I get my lovin' on the run. I couldn't put that to ranting, though. I don't have the rhymes available to do that right now. So, tax cut. Hello, streamer. It'd be nice to get a tax cut. It seems like we're all going to be getting a tax increase, though. They're talking about hiring 87,000 new IRS agents. Oh, what do they have on their mind? Nola Mom, sing it. Sing it. I'm seeing most of the Sundown Farms. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for the heart. Moonlight View. Woo. Moonlight View. Most of you guys that I see come by during the day and during the Coffee with Cannon, Backyard Beverage, Bitchin' with Bill, Rantin' with Bill. Most of you guys, I recognize your names. Every once in a while, there'll be someone new, but pretty much it's the same folks. I appreciate you guys to come by. I get someone to talk to. 82 people in the chat, 65 thumbs up. Again, I always say, hey, can we get over 100? I don't know. Can we do it today? Doesn't seem like the same energy is here today as was here yesterday. I would double check that 87,000 IRS story, Patrick Glanville. They're talking about hiring 6 times the amount of IRS agents that they currently have employed. So if I don't know what that number becomes, but they're talking about hiring 6 times. So in any event, they're going to be going after, I believe, as they always do, the middle class. They're not going after the millionaires. The millionaires have lawyers, accountants, and they can tire out the government till the end of time, or if it's possible. But how about John Q. Citizen like you and me? How long can we fight the IRS till our financial resources are exhausted and we've had enough and we want to cut a deal, right? Oh, you're saying we owe this? I say I don't owe it. Oh, you want to take me to court now? Oh, you're going to charge me interest. Let me talk to my accountant. Well, how do I get out from under this? Make them an offer, you know. That's how it usually ends with middle class people and lower middle class. You can't afford to fight. You know, I mean, someone like Trump, he can fight the government because he's a billionaire. So he can fight them, pay his lawyers, and every once in a while win a victory, you know. Stars above, hey Bill, I look out for you now between noon and 1 p.m. for Backyard Beverage. Stars above, Coffee with Cannon, Backyard Beverage, Bitchin' with Bill, Ranting with Bill. Max Love, hi Sergeant Bill, I love these talks. Well, thank you guys, thank you for love. I look at my pool today. What do we got left of the summer? We're in the middle. What is today, the 15th of August? We don't have that much time left, right? Frank Marshall, we need news the way it used to be, 7, 8 a.m., 12 noon to 1. Yeah, well, the 24-hour news cycle creates a lot of nonsense. Like, who needs news 24/7, you know? After a while, it just drives you crazy, drives you out of your mind, you know? Enough. Unless it's Backyard Beverage or Bitchin' with Bill or Coffee with Cannon, then it should be 24/7, you know? Tax cut, temperature drops the day after Labor Day. Moonlight View, Gabagool Pool. I like that. How to beat the IRS with Bill. I wish I had those accounting skills. I have a great accountant. His name is Joe Kane. He's a retired captain. He's from Nanuet. That's where his office is. And he's really good. Finest Financial is the name of his. Not that, you know, you're going to go to an accountant that is in the area that you live, but I've turned on many people to Joe Kane, and he's saved me many times. I was right, but he fought the IRS for me and won. So here we go, Milwaukee Civilian, 84,000 new IRS agents, 1,000 fewer NYPD. Crazy, right? So there you have Milwaukee Civilian. I don't know where you got that Milwaukee Civilian, but you're saying 84,000. That's, you know, we all know what the purpose of that is, right? They're going to go, you know, I just think when there's government overreach with taxes and that type of thing, you heard what they're doing in New York City, right? They have a thing now, it's supposed to go into effect, I think, next year. It's called congestion pricing. So if you take your car into New York City, besides the fact that you have to pay a toll to get in there most of the time, unless you take one of the bridges that there are no tolls on, and you go below a certain street, you're going to get hit with a toll, a $20, $22, $23 toll for taking your car past a certain street. And the way they charge you, of course, is right on your Easy Pass. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of people trying to figure out fraudulent ways to cover up their license plate or cover their Easy Pass or something like that. But Milwaukee Civilian, I'm wrong. It's only 25,000 IRS agents. Well, Milwaukee Civilian, tell us, where are you getting that number from so we can determine whether or not it's accurate or inaccurate, you know? Max Love, hi, Lieutenant Pete, how you doing? Tax cut, plate flippers. That's a good idea, tax cut. Get to, like with the James Bond movies where the plate just turns upside down, right? That's that would be brilliant, right? You have to have a lot of electronics in your car. Michelle, hello, Peter. So yeah, and then the other thing they have in New York City, I've spoken about this before, and really you don't need to be concerned about it unless you live in New York City or the suburbs and you intend to drive into the city. They're going to have, and they already do have them, is speed cameras. And initially, the speed cameras were only supposed to be operational during certain hours, like school hours and near schools. The city got a taste of that money and said, nah, it's going to be 24/7 now, and not just near schools, all over the damn city. So they got an open cash register. And I have accused on my podcast as well as several other sites is that the city's doing this because the MTA, Metropolitan Transportation Administration, they run the subways. And since COVID, ridership is down 40%. So only 60% of the riders that they used to have still ride the subway. And of that percentage, what percentage of those 60% are jumping the turnstile, not paying their fare? I believe it's a substantial amount. So they're losing millions of dollars from turnstile jumpers. So they don't want to enforce against the turnstile jumpers. So let's enforce against the people from the suburbs driving into the city with those evil carbon-burning vehicles. Let's have them pay for the turnstile jumpers. That happens to be a reality. Will they ever admit that? The city ever admit that? No. You're talking Milwaukee civilian, you're talking about the numbers of IRS agents has been exaggerated? Possibly. Maybe they actually don't know how many work for them now, and then adding 6 times that amount. BK74, make it safe and not tax the working people. You know, after a while, you know, the Beatles have that tune, Taxman, you know. You drive a car, I'll tax the street. If you're walking, I'm going to tax your feet, you know. They have some pretty clever words in some of their songs. 'Cause I'm the tax man. Yeah, I'm the tax man. George Harrison, yeah. George Harrison, I definitely think, was an underrated songwriter. I don't think, because he was the youngest Beatle, I don't think they gave him his due as a songwriter, and they didn't let him have enough spots on their records. And probably because Lennon and McCartney bullied him, because he was like a mellow sort of guy. But he was a brilliant songwriter, and you see some of the songs that came out after the Beatles broke up. BK74, way underrated, Bill. Yeah, George Harrison, I really get to appreciate him more in the later years. Like, obviously, the big personalities that were Lennon and McCartney overshadowed George Harrison. But when you think about some of the brilliant, brilliant songs, something in the way she moves, attracts me like no other lover. Here Comes the Sun. That song is just like brilliant, brilliant. My Sweet Lord. That was post-Beatles, I think. You know, Pauline Buckles' My Sweet Lord is the song that he got sued for, because it was an octave of the same melody of a tune by the Shirelles called Oh My My. I don't know if you recall that. And Harrison had to pay an undisclosed amount for copyright violation, because the song was a full octave, which is 8 notes of the same exact melody. Did he do it on purpose? I don't think George Harrison really copied the melody. Maybe it was in his head. Maybe you do it subconsciously. You could copy a melody, you know. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, you're right. Fantastic song, fantastic. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, yeah, absolutely. Shalane Thomason, are you familiar with Lennon's death? I was actually in Buffalo I believe it was in December of 1980, and it was my last semester up there, and I was at Buffalo State College, and I heard it either on TV or on the radio that John Lennon had been shot and killed in front of the Dakota on 72nd Street, right off of Central Park West. So I think everyone was shocked by that, you know, like the senselessness of shooting and killing a Beatle, an iconic rock and roller, a Beatle, for what was the purpose of killing him? It just, you know, when nobodies, Mark David Chapman, a real zero, a real nobody, he wants to become famous, so he kills John Lennon, you know, just so pathetic. He was shot, Lennon was shot multiple times, and the gun was a 44 Bulldog, I believe it was. Just horrible. Tax cut. John signed something for Chapman, ironically. Well, Chapman had been like hanging out in front of the Dakota for days. And I think he had that, what was that Catcher in the Rye. He had that book, Catcher in the Rye. And Lennon signed that, I think, the day before for him. So this nutcase, Mark David Chapman, had this, he was sort of stalking him. I don't know for what reason. You know, people become obsessed with celebrity, you know, and nutty, it's nutty. Complete stalker, obsessed with Jodie Foster too, yeah. Jeffrey Kylie, yes, True Bill Scott Cardinal did a show on his death. Very good. Yeah, I mean, there's been so many different stories. I worked at the precinct, the 20 precinct, when I first came on the job, and that was the precinct that covered the Dakota. And there were still some old timers that it happened in 1980. There was still some old timers in the precinct that talked about the case. And Moonlight View, yeah, we put out that album Double Fantasy prior to that, I think. Was it prior or after? I thought it was prior. Wait, I think that Hinckley is the one obsessed with Jodie Foster. Milwaukee Civilian. Yes, Hinckley was obsessed with Jodie Foster. I don't know if it was Mark David Chapman. Scott Inquirer, I remember when that happened. Yeah. You know, a horrible, horrible thing, you know, like the talent. Think of all the great things he would have done, accomplished, songs he would have written, concerts he would have given had he lived. I think he was just like 40 years old when he was killed. That was 1980. He was killed in 1980, so 42 years ago. So he'd be 82 now, does that sound right? Yeah, he'd be 82. Yeah, he would, because Paul McCartney, I think, just turned 80. John Lennon was the oldest Beatle. So, you know, just ridiculous, just ridiculous. So, guys, again, tonight at 5 p.m., I'm going to be covering the news story. It's not like smoking gun stuff, but the FBI has determined through ballistics tests that there's no doubt that Alec Baldwin pulled the trigger on the movie set of Rust that resulted in the death of Helena Hutchins, the cinematographer who was killed working on that movie. That's 5 p.m. It's going to be myself, crime scene expert, Sergeant John Palucci, and of course, straight out of Brooklyn, retired NYPD detective, Phil Grimaldi. He'll be there, and we're going to take a dive, not a deep dive, into the case. We also have been covering Kylie Rodney, the 16-year-old girl who's been missing from Truckee, California, a small town, I believe, in the Sacramento area, about 20 miles, or I think Lake Tahoe is 20 miles north of Truckee. Jimmy Calandra, Bath Avenue story. Wow, good to see you, Jimmy. I'm still taking advantage of my yard. Me golden, I'm back in me golden with me pool. 73 thumbs up, wow. 92 in the chat, 89 thumbs up. I don't know if we'll ever bust the 100-mile Phil Leo, hey Sergeant Bill. After all, I find it strange she ran into the water. It was out of the way. After all, but it was so dark that night, and she was intoxicated. She could have easily have gone the wrong way. You know, her friend even said, "Oh, I didn't want to get in the car with her." It was a good friend, right? I didn't want to get in the car with her because she was intoxicated. Well, maybe you should have helped her, and maybe nothing would have happened to her. You know. PJAK Roundhound, that's an awful story. Also regarding Kylie Rodney. Yes, Pauline Buckles like Ted Kennedy. You are correct. She'd be interesting conversation. Rhonda Dahman. How was my sound today, guys? I actually used a different microphone, but I can't tell whether it's the microphone or it's the Wi-Fi. Sometimes it's the Wi-Fi. Like as you notice, you hear me today, there's no one using a damn blower or a loud lawnmower or all of the, or hedge clippers. I think those truly mess up your microphone, you know. Nikki Bella says it sounds great. This is Kurt Cobain, you sound great. 5x5, cool, you're solid, Bill. Jimmy Crandall, hi Bill, I hope all is well. Good to see you, Jimmy. Hope you're doing well too. Guys, if you haven't tuned into Jimmy, we just hit 100 in the chat. Thank you so much. You guys, if you haven't, tune into Jimmy Calandra, the Bath Avenue stories. He's got some great material, great guests, a very entertaining guy. Jimmy Calandra, Bath Avenue. BK7 sound was good. Your singing was, I don't know. When we were kids and partying in the mountains, if we were near the lake, we'd go there because it was cooler in the summer. You know, no one knows yet what happened to this poor girl, her poor family. The investigation is ongoing. That's all we could say, you know. And it's not for lack of trying that they haven't found her yet. They have tried. They just have not found her. Rhonda Dahman sounds awesome. Cool, cool, cool. One more thumbs up and it'll be 100. Oh, 100 thumbs up. Yeah, now, you know, it dropped from the 100 in the chat to 94 and 98 in the thumbs up, but we're doing all right. I got about 2.5 minutes, and then we're at 45 minutes, and I'm done after that. I'm just coming by to exercise my vocal cords here. Sing some Guns N' Roses. Still waiting for Bill to sing some Guns N' Roses. That's a little tougher to sing. He's Axl Rose, my God. Patty L, hi Princess Mitch. Good to see all you guys. All you guys in the chat are all friends. I like that. Like that you know each. Bill 101 likes now. That's great. 104 I'm seeing. Wow. Frank Marsha, that's cool. Wow, I see 105 in the chat. Woo! Amazing. 42, we're going to hit 43 minutes on the air, so only have like 2 minutes left. So sing some Neil Young. I always love your chats. I hate when I miss the lives. Yeah, you know, it's, I try to come on as often as possible, but I don't want, you know, if I come on too often, then I'll bore you guys, and you'll be like, I don't need to go hear them today, you know. Dylan Rounds case, some locals are saying that quite a police convoy is headed to, there's something going on with the Dylan Rounds case right now. I sort of stopped covering that after a while, and Duty Ron more or less picked it up. But Duty Ron's been off the air because of the death of his mother-in-law. So he hasn't been on the air. That's a priority, obviously. So I don't know anyone who's picked up the slack with that case. But Duty Ron was covering that. Harley Chick, how are you? Hi, Bill. Scout Inquirer, hi, and good afternoon, Lieutenant Pete. Peter Prenz, I hope you are having a fabulous day. From Scout Inquirer. Wow. Patty L, good to see you. Guys, I got like 1 minute left. Well, thank you, Frank Marshall. Bill, you couldn't bore anyone. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Guys, I'm at about 1 minute left. Again, show tonight at 5 p.m. We're going to talk about the Alec Baldwin thing. If there's any developments in the Kylie Rodney case, we'll mention it. I'm going to monitor that and see if anything new has occurred. But so far, nothing new. But I will monitor it. Princess Mitch, have a blessed day, y'all. Hey, Suze. We got Lieutenant Pete and Richella on the air. So cool. Milwaukee civilians, thanks. Looking forward to tonight's live. Guys, have a great day. I'm going to say good afternoon. God bless. Stay safe, everyone.